We're gonna do a song that you never heard before.
The volume.
Hear the drummer get wicked. Here we go again.
It's Kennedy, my brother from another mother.
What's good, bro?
Man, what's been up with you, bro?
No, not much. Thanksgiving, getting tooth removed. That's about it.
Tell me about Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving was cool. We had the in-laws, well, the sister-in-law, brother-in-law come in from Atlanta, and my niece and nephew. So and then my, my other brother-in-law, we got together with mom and Sarah and them, and we just ate, left. We had a rented out a center, ate there and then cleaned up and then went back to Sarah's mom's house to play games. It was dope. Play that competitive taboo for the culture,
Yeah.
and it was crazy. Of course, I won both times, so
Yeah, man. So you know what's funny is that I thought that I had a crazy time. I thought that we was gonna end up having to go out of town for Thanksgiving. Last minute, you know what I'm saying? Little sis was able to get in town. So we wound up hosting Thanksgiving. It was real cool, man.
mhm.
I think the one thing that was real dope for me, and I want to ask you this though. So for me, one of the highlights of so there were two main highlights for different reasons, right? So one of the main highlights, I think, food wise, right? One of the things I made this time that I usually do different. I bust out the Texas skillet. Usually when I bust out the Texas skillet, that means some cornbread is going down in there. So I
Yeah,
made sweet potato cornbread, and it was a smash. It was a complete hit, and it didn't taste like it didn't taste overly sweet. Like it still tastes like cornbread, but
yeah,
with sweet potatoes, and it was had a nice little blend. I didn't want it to taste like sweet potato pie, but it was a good blend. Like you can it was almost like a good mixture of sweet potato pie and cornbread.
yeah,
What I think was funny is that my sister wound up making turkey tail, right? Which was like kind of like oxtail bacon, turkey tail. And what was funny about that is that usually she's good for like salads and pasta mixes and everything like that. But she was actually cooking. She came through, had a little crock pot, right? And this was this was real good. I had never even had anything that was flavored this way, right? These particular seasons though. Top notch. And it was so good. But everybody was like, you sure you made these? Like you ain't buy these from a store and somebody put it in the crock pot though, bro. But it was hilarious though, man. And I think that was those are the two highlight dishes because everybody else's dishes usually hit. Neek's macaroni always gonna go hard, right? I didn't do dressing this year because usually only like it's only like me, Neek, and Landon are the only ones that eat dressing. So I didn't even make a small, and I might do that for Christmas though. Um, but yeah, man, it was real dope though, real dope.
Well, the standout at ours was Samaya's mac and cheese by far. She did most of the cooking this year. I always go through my homeboy to get the meat. That's how I support his business. So I ended up getting two turkeys and a ham. The ham stayed at the house. The other turkey, he had ended up putting both of them in the pan. So whatever was left is what I took home. So then I made my own Thanksgiving stuff for Friday, just because I'm, diabetic or whatever like that. And I like to eat leftovers. Nobody else really eat leftovers. So I've been tearing it down till my tooth got pulled. And so I'm on pause. But as soon as I think tomorrow, I think is the earliest I can start eating again, it's back. I can't wait to finish
Let,
knocking it out.
let me ask you that though, bro. When you say tooth pull, you ain't talking about like wisdom, like the you talking about just one of your regular molar pull.
Yeah. So in the back of my mouth, though, it's where my jawline is. There was a tooth that was rubbing up against it. So I was supposed to get like a root canal or whatever. And with the placement of it, he was like, bro, even if I did the root canal and the crown, it's no guarantee that it wouldn't happen again because of how close it is to the back of my jaw. And so even now, my bite hasn't changed. You can't see it. It's not, it ain't nothing visual. You know what I'm saying? So it's in the very, very back of my mouth. And I was having issues with it anyway. So it was one of those things like he was like, I would recommend you just take it out. Plus, it was absolutely much cheaper. Much cheaper.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Even insurance, because shoot, I had a root canal and a crown on a crack tooth that I had. That thing was about 800 out of pocket. You know what I'm saying? It's 55 out of pocket. So I was like, paid that.
Get that tooth out of there, huh?
Get it on out of there.
I was glad because I've seen people who have side teeth missing. Yeah. But and the reason why they just be like, I don't pull it on now, it's because it's so much cheaper than getting the root canal, though, bro. I was like,
Well, no, that was the thing. The one that was cracked was a side tooth. I was like, nah, bro, we got to run that. So
yeah.
But look, man, let's get that music popping off. We got some things to get into.
Let's do it.
What your name is?
The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast.
If you smell what the rock. It doesn't matter what your name is.
Hey, listen, if you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe to the Slash Brothers YouTube and Facebook pages. We are live on both platforms at the same time. You click on the notification, you click on the bell, you get the heads up whenever you boys are doing their thing. Hey, Kennedy. Hey, so you know one thing that was that man is that right before Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I thought I took an L right quick on my Wi-Fi.
Yeah, it's been lagging a little bit.
Yeah. I couldn't quite tell. I'm sitting right by my joint here, and I was like, that must be yours over there going though, man. But one of the things that was real dope though, man, is that I was able to shoot me a couple of red lights. And it's been real dope. I think that the one thing that's been real cool, man, is that the editing process. You and I, we always talk about trying to get more efficient with everything like that. So I got an opportunity to shoot a couple of dope visuals, though, man. Had some cool ideas. It came out like A1, just how I thought. And so it's been real, though. I'm pretty excited. I finally am at a point now where I have like a catalog of videos that I'll actually say, all right, now I got a release schedule now. So I've been able to collaborate with a couple of artists that I've been working with for a while though, man. And I think that the one thing that I'm glad is that with the Red Light Mic Drops was always about creating a platform that's similar to some of the ones that I've seen, but my own kind of spin on it, but also just giving somebody the opportunity to have quality visuals. And so for me, I think that it's been real dope to be able to shoot them, but also shoot my own, because as I've been doing them more, the better and better they get, and the faster and faster it gets. So that this really is truly churn and burn. It's we got it on out, we shoot it. It don't take very long at all. So one of the things that's been real dope is that I'm at a point now where I'm looking to also collab. Because I thought about it. I was like, yo, when I'm shooting these, usually one of the things that make mine kind of unique, for one, is the red light, but also most of my visuals are shot from like the waist up. So I was like, yo, I might need to start collabing with some independent, clothing lines. If you got something that you're looking to do, trying to do some brand ambassador work, because all of my visuals are basically going to show your shirt or whatever. So I'm trying to figure out a way to kind of incorporate that into mine personally, for my personal ones that I do. Since I know so many people that got independent clothing lines, things that they're doing though, man. So but I got a good response. And the homie Van wound up reaching out. One of the first people to reach out as well when I was like, yo, I'm trying to do this, but it's gonna be real dope. Trying to do some cross promotional work with some folks with the red light. But I was excited because got great response to one of the behind the scenes things that I did the other day. And so I got a couple of other visuals that I'm looking to go ahead and edit. Pretty hype though, man. It's one of those things. I'm very glad when I gave you the idea and then it's coming out how I envisioned it, bro. It's real dope.
Yeah. It's the reason why we call ourselves the Slash Brothers. Because I mean,
Yeah,
like we talked about, you got that popping off. I got the Ace Media Unlimited popping off with the sports media stuff. So yeah, we all over the place, bro. And I'm so
yeah.
glad that you like energized about it. So yeah. Plus it's making you pull that camera out. So I know you're gonna upgrade
Making
soon.
me pull the camera out. Yeah. And you know, I think one of the things the one things that I'm looking to do, bro, is that especially so as I'm doing this particular mic drop, you know, it's like I shoot all of these in my studio. I think one of the things I'm looking to go ahead and do is to be able to do on location mic drops eventually. So that's something that when I get to that point, I want to be able to go ahead and upgrade the camera. So once I get that, then I'm gonna be ready. Because by then I think doing maybe 5 of those would probably pay for the camera in itself, though, bro. So,
Yeah.
yeah. But excited, man. Excited. I'm excited to. It's always been one of those aspects of the creativity process that I was interested in. So, having stepped away from it for quite some time to be back into it, it's really dope, though, man. I'm pretty hyped about
Cool. Got a
it. Yeah,
question
yeah,
for you.
yeah. What's good?
What do you think about Biden pardoning his son?
And listen, this is a good one. This is a good one. I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
I just wondered maybe there were some legalities that made it take as long, right? But I look at it from my standpoint, right? If I'm the president of the United States and the sitting leader of the free world, right? Uh, and I can pardon anybody with no checks, right? And my son, if I feel like my son was unjustly targeted, specifically for my affiliation, whatever he did. I still don't even know the details of why, but I know there was a gun charge. But if I'm him and I can say, you know what, I can just go ahead and pardon anybody with the stroke of my pen. Yes, I'm going to go ahead and what do you look like being a what do you look like being a father who has that power? And not pardoning your own kid over something that I think is such a minor thing. I don't think that he harmed anybody in the process. To me, it was one of those things to where, and I hate to sound so one-sided. I couldn't imagine any president of any party affiliation not doing the same thing, bro.
Well, here's the thing. I'm kind of right there with you on that. Plus, I thought a part of it had to do with some white girl too. That booger sugar. So
I mean, but Joe Bonte already said, yeah, he's been on that booger sugar before. He's been struggling. And the one thing I can appreciate about that is that he's very honest. He said, listen, my son doesn't go through anything that the normal American wouldn't go through just because he's my son. He's the son of no, my son go through real issues. And listen, you cannot tell me that Trump and or any of his kids haven't. Because I refuse to believe Trump to be as popular as he was in the 80s and he not dabble with a little booger sugar.
Listen, it don't matter to me. I'm like you. If that's my son and I'm going out, I ain't coming back. I'm going out with a bang. Clear my son. It's
especially,
I'm 80
on the way.
Some years old and I'm the president and I'm about to leave and I'm not coming back. So what? I don't care. Who cares?
You got on a good side. You got on a good side. 10 more good years with your son. 10 more good years
what
with your
difference do it make, right? Y'all already don't like me as it is. You already got issues with me. You didn't want me to be the president again. I don't give up. Like, I don't care.
If I'm him, listen, and not just that, if I'm Joe, because see, this is the thing about it. If I'm Joe Vontae Biden, bro, I'm just like, and what? These nuts. These nuts. I'm going that far with it because again, I'm on my way out for one, right? I'm old. I'm 80 something years old. You think for a minute that I'm gonna leave the president's office, and then let's say my son, let's say you, if as old as he is, right? He might, like I said, he might have maybe 10. Listen, Jimmy Carter has been around for a long time. But I'm just saying, for you to be able to really spend quality time with your family, 10 years maybe. So you think for a minute that I'm going to spend a year, a month away from my son, if all I have to do is say, boom, that's it. Listen, man, get out of my face, bro. Like, nah. I'm cool with that. If
Yeah.
anything, I would have done it months ago, right? But I'm assuming that there's the process that had to take place and timing wise. But nah, get out of my face, bro. We good.
Yeah. Let's get into the main topic. The title of the episode is called Sued. What we
Yeah.
referring to, sir?
So apparently Drake is suing Universal, right?
Petitioning.
Because his
Petitioning.
petitioning, suing, right? And he is basically suing them on the basis that they essentially have used bots and used other methods to boost the popularity of Not Like Us, right? Now, here's where I think that it gets a little sketchy. So Drake is at a point now where he's going toward the end of his contract, right? So he's in the contract negotiations with Universal at this point. And if you recall, there was this Drake signed this new deal with someone a few like a year or so ago, whatever. But ultimately, one of the things that makes this where it's a little gray area is because people were talking like, oh, this would be like Drake doing like a 400 million, $600 million deal or whatever, some epic deal that would put him almost like on billionaire status, basically. And so the claim, though, for Drake is that, well, this is them using and using bots and all these methods basically so that it would make Not Like Us more popular. And in return, basically almost like as a negotiating ploy, you're not as popping to warrant 400 million hypothetically, but you might be able to do two or whatever. And but the whole thing is specifically Not Like Us, not Kendrick, but suing Universal for
UMG.
basically deploying bots to boost it. Yes, yeah,
Well, the other thing, the other claim part was that he said that there were influencers complaining that they would say, hey, whatever their, whether it be Alexa or whatever, and they would say play this particular thing, and instead of the Drake stuff coming on, it would be Not Like Us. But Alexa off. And the other, that's why I didn't want to say the name because I knew I was going. But the other thing too, don't Drake use the same stuff for his stuff?
Oh my gosh, that is the thing that drives me crazy. And this is the thing that this is what makes me so mad about this, right? So you and I talk about this offline, not nearly as much on the pod. That all of the streaming numbers are fake. Like all of the streaming numbers are fake from the standpoint of like here's the example. I think that like maybe like when Megan put out her last album or something like that, they said that they detected that there were some bots being deployed to boost her song, and so the CIIA or whatever the ratings for the song, as far as it being a platinum song, gold or whatever, it decreased by like 3 million streams. And that's probably on the low end to me. But all of the numbers are bought. And when I say that they're bought, it's from a standpoint of, it's like, all right, you're basically paying for the stream. So if you're a label, you invested in an artist, you can have the bots deployed to get you 1 billion streams. And everybody's accused Drake of that for years. And what he's accusing them of is nothing that they haven't already did for him, Nothing that they haven't already did for almost all of their artists, though, bro. So to call that out now, right? When you say show proof, then don't you also got to show proof that they didn't do that for you?
I mean, if he's opening up the claim, it's going to open up a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So,
Open it up. I would love to see it. I would love to see. I would love because we've always thought the numbers were phony. I would love to see how phony the numbers are.
yeah.
More than anything, let me ask you this. Don't this make him look like he's a sore loser, bro?
Yes and no. Yes and no. Because the reason why I say yes and no is because the other part is you got to understand that the other part of the claim is that you the other part of the hello.
You low.
Can you
And that ain't my Wi-Fi either.
no. Hold on.
Yeah. But listen, this is the thing. When I say that, it makes him look like a sore loser. Because do you think he would be doing this if he came out on the losing end of this? Like if they not like us, because you think about it, right? It was specifically they not like us. And it's interesting because all of the other back and forth songs didn't do it. It was also like there was a part of it that I thought that I was like, yo, you were basically saying like, oh, they're saying you're a pedophile, and that's not true. So now you're also boosting the notion in this caption that he's a pedophile. You're supporting that. That part's not true. And it's like, well, you did say all of this stuff about Kendrick in your song, right? That wasn't true. You said that this man, best friend, a label owner, it's really the father of your kid. He was smashing your girl. You was beating your girl, and so you gotta account for that if you do that, though, bro.
Yeah, and that's that's the thing. The claims of so he's getting into the territory of defamation where it's like you allowed him you're boosting the popularity of a song that's calling me a pedophile. And so the thing is being like neither one of them uh are great on the resume, but it is looking suspect about, people are out here just chanting this song and it's basically
It's everywhere. It's
yes,
everywhere.
a
It's at
cultural
every
thing.
basketball game. It's at every football game. Listen. You know what I think is crazy? It begs me to ask this. When was the last time you've seen a single song this popular?
It'd have to be a Pitbull or a Flow Rider song.
Oh god.
What?
Okay, so I can see where you're going because globally they're global artists. So I get that, right? Those the song.
See, you're talking
I guess in
culture.
the vacuum, I'm thinking culturally, and you're talking about international, but culturally,
Culturally,
where a
probably
song
yeah.
is everywhere. I'm willing to say culturally, Bobby Smurda or Cardi B, both. Culturally, I think that those are two songs where everywhere I went, I heard those songs.
Also that Kodak Black song. I mean, not Kodak Black. Lil Uzi Vert. The song where oh my gosh, what is the song
All
called?
my friends is dead. That song.
No, it's a anthemish song.
Yeah. I hated that song so badly too. But
I know
maybe
you
that's
rated it. You, I,
maybe I hated it so much that it's like I hated it so much that I avoided it though, bro. So
I mean,
I'm
but
biased on
it's
that.
played everywhere.
I
Basketball
know.
games,
I'm
football
so biased
games.
because I hate it so bad. Um, but I think that was so. But the point is though, right? Like I think the song was organically a national, like a cultural phenomenon, right? And then for you to imply that it wouldn't have been as popular if it wasn't for the boosting. It's like, well, how do you account then for it being on in clubs, right? How do you account for it being on? I say this all the time. Radio, Atlanta radio is everything to me, right? Um, how do you account for it being in the stadiums, though? Right? You mean to tell me the labels influence all of the stadiums, though, to put on?
And
It's like
the college bands to play it.
yes, and that's my thing. I don't remember, bro. Even the Bodak. I remember Bodak, the Bodak being played by the Southern or Grambling band at the Value Classic. Um, but I can't remember the last time I heard a song that was as popular though. So it makes him look bad because some people call. I saw Charlemagne had called it. He gonna sue, right? And I don't think he meant he gonna sue like that. But I'm just saying, like, my thing is this though, bro. It just makes him look like the fact that nobody, and I've never heard anybody in history of hip hop specifically file a lawsuit behind going back and forward with each other, right? And it just makes you look. It makes you look like you're not aware that you ain't that. That's just not something that's allowed.
But it's the other thing is because the last battle you left because somebody brought out your son's he botched your son's rollout that you was trying to do, right? So it's
Yeah.
like he has a habit of just of quitting. I mean, here's the thing: you can bow out when you want to, but it's the how you bow out because you're the one that dropped the last song and then was like, "I'm done."
Yeah,
But the
I'm
impact is
over it,
already
bro.
made.
The impact is already made. And this is my thing. Here's the thing I think. You and I always talk about this. How do you bounce back? Well, do you bounce back with another big song, right? But if you're telling me that part of the popularity behind you are these bots, then are you organically popular, right? Or are you force fed? Because you and I say all the time, I think that Drake is probably one of the safest great artists out there. You can put a Drake playlist on anywhere and it's pretty safe around any crowd, right? But I think that then it's just like, well, if you're a hit maker like that, like you've been, it should just be that it's the next big thing. But then what happens though, bro, if you're no longer, like we said, he had the longest run of being hot ever. So it's like, what happens if you're no longer able to capitalize on that run, though, bro? Like, I'm not saying what if this is the end of Drake,
It's
but
not though.
what if it's Drake's time to be the Lil Wayne, where he can still spit, he's still relevant, but he's just not one of the top 5 rappers going.
No, it's not. It's not his time. He just went up against a monster. It's the same thing that happened when he went up against Pusha T. Right? Pusha T was nowhere near the caliber artist. Like he's always going back at it with people who are quote unquote the underdog. Like when he did Meek, right? He bodied Meek, but then you turn around and you go to Pusha T and you quit. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who was really ready to go with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it honestly gave Pusha T more clout just because of a lot of people, as much as we like Pusha T or whatever, a lot of people don't listen to him like that. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
you're battling the biggest artist in the world. Kendrick was different because Kendrick had a set fan base already, and this just unleashed him to the world. So it's just you if you gonna get in the battle space, you gotta just roll with the punches, man, and not. But again, who am
I'm
I?
mad at him. I'm mad at him because he is at one point for like about 4 years. Drake was almost like a staple within battle rap. And when I say battle rap, I mean Smack, URL, King of the Dot, like that scene. So I would think that he should know better, and that was one of my biggest problems. But you brought up something. Now Kendrick has rolled out GNX. Have you listened to it?
I have. And of course,
What you
right off
think?
the bat, very first song, he addresses Snoop, he addresses Lil Wayne, and of course, Lil Wayne took I won't say offense, but he was bothered by his name being called in the song. And he was just like, look, he tweeted out like, hey, don't awaken the beast. Like I'm just out here chilling and my name's getting called out. Like, please don't wake me up because I'm not trying to start nothing, but I ain't gonna back down at the same time. And it's just like people are making a bigger deal out of what he said, like he's was calling out Wayne. He specifically
Yeah,
said, I bumped the Carter 3 all the time. I even had the chain and whatever like that. And, apparently my hard work made Wayne upset. But whatever though.
yeah, yeah. I think that here's the thing I think that's interesting about it. Okay, so for somebody like me, where I may so I'm a huge Kendrick fan. Enough so that already, right? Already, I can I can feel very comfortable with arguing that I would put Kendrick on my personal GOAT list as top five. And when I say top five, I'm willing to say it's Jay-Z, Kendrick, then Wayne. Anybody after that, we can argue and you can make the case for who's else. But for me, those are my three: Jay-Z, Kendrick, Wayne. So with that being said, don't get me wrong, Wayne is a beast, and that Wayne don't miss. And I can't lie. I think that a Wayne beef would be different because when the lighter flicks and Wayne goes, I know it's gonna be up. So I don't know. It would be different, but but this is my thing. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't want to see Wayne in any battle with anybody at this point. I think that at this point, though, bro, I think that Wayne should be at the point where he is appreciated on that level where people are saying that you should have been on the Super Bowl because of his greatness. I think that Wayne should be celebrated, bro, because I think Wayne is in a very unique point that in the history of hip hop, you don't really get to see very many guys age like the way Wayne has and still be as relevant, still be where, like, Jada is gonna say something hot, right? Rick Ross ain't gonna say something whack on a song. But I think that to be honest with you though, bro, I think that the only people in hip hop that are are still hot and are 40 and up, Future, Two Chains, and Wayne. And I think even Two Chains has fell back a little bit more, but Wayne should just be celebrated. I think that Wayne should be given his flowers at every chance he gets, only
Well,
because even though those other guys are there, he's been around. You think about that. Wayne has been around hip hop for more than half of our life, bro.
right. But the problem is the reason why Wayne is not getting the respect and that he deserves at this juncture because he still had another run in him. But unfortunately, that stuff that happened with Birdman killed his career.
It did.
The
It killed his
hiatus,
momentum.
that long hiatus, it took away his any
It did.
momentum because
It
Nicki
did.
stayed relevant. Drake stayed relevant. Young Money was the hottest label out when you got those three artists releasing at any given moment. And then as soon as Birdman pulled the plug on that thing, that it just and so now he's in a legend status. He shouldn't be in a legend status right now.
I agree. I agree. And this is my thing. I'm gonna be honest because I see that where to you and I, Wayne could be looked at as an equal to Busta Rhymes. Right? When Busta is an absolute legend. But I think that Wayne should be compared to Busta for me. And I do love, and that's somebody who loves Busta. I think I might have Busta higher than a lot of people. But I think that, like I said, Wayne is number three. And even then, I think that that's a big deal. And that's my top five. I don't even got to go 5. I could just go with just 3. Um, my 3, I think, should always be given their flowers anytime they step out, anytime they pop out, anytime they're seen. I think that they should, though, bro. But that's why I thought that GNX is that dope of an album, because for somebody like me, and I am admittedly somewhat biased when it comes to Kendrick. Um, it's a no skip album. Now, with that being said, there are certain songs that I might like more than others, but it's still no skip. Um, I'll tell you this. I thought Mr. Morale and the Steppers was a no skip album because but it was the same way. It had songs that I like and some that didn't. What I appreciate the most about the album in itself, and what I found to start to like more about West Coast artists in general, is that I appreciate more than anything that it sounds regional. Like, it doesn't sound like a down south album. A lot of West Coast artists, there's something about that West Coast bass line that I appreciate, that make it sound like it's such an LA, like a California thing, that I think that more people have gotten away from with the popularity of Southern hip hop and it being emulated. I like that West Coast artist in particular still has the identity of West Coast sound and music, though. And this one is very much a West Coast album, though, bro. So it's fire, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was long-winded, but I listened to it. I had it on repeat, man. I found out on accident that it came out one day. I just so happened to stop at a gas station on my way to Louisiana, and they said Kendrick got this album. I was like, what the hell? Put it on and had it on repeat I've had it on repeat probably driving through Alabama and most of Mississippi, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, another question, another big topic that popped up over the weekend. Ohio State, Michigan game. Michigan ends up winning. They're in Ohio State. Of course, everybody's like, they are slated to win by 3 touchdowns. They end up losing. After the Michigan game, Michigan goes to try to plant the flag like Baker Mayfield did, and it turned into an all-out brawl. Football players got pepper sprayed. What is your opinion about this, bro? Because I have my opinion, but I want to know what you think.
Okay, here's my opinion. All right. I can understand if you're from Ohio State and your rival comes and try to plant their flag down. Now, mind you, they kick your ass. This will be 4 straight times, right? And now the alumni is talking about they want to fire your coach, right? Who again, you've been number 2 almost all year long, right? So I can understand why you feel like that would be disrespectful to do, right? But here's my thing. Don't try to fight now. You should have been trying to fight on the field. So if you knew that was coming, you should have gave that energy to make one more play, to make one more tackle, to make the interception, to make one more catch, to make a better run. Don't try to wait till the end to try to fight. You can fight during the game, bro. So get out of my face. Get out of my face. Like, I understand what you're saying. You don't want to be disrespected on your field. That's fine. But you had your opportunity to do something about it, and don't try to wait to fight. Because I don't want to know. I don't care to know what your hands look like, bro. I want to know what your hands look like to catch the ball. I want to know what your hands look like to intercept it. What your hands like throwing the ball. Get out of my face.
You was already disrespected because you lost the game at home.
Yeah, to a weaker Michigan team, right? This is the weakest Michigan has lost. Michigan lost to like Michigan struggling with Fresno State, bro, earlier this year.
But this is the thing. This is a rivalry game. Listen. If we beat you at a rivalry game, if you don't want us to plant the flag in your arena, beat us.
Beat us, and that resolves everything.
Right. Because if you don't beat us, you are subjected to whatever I want to do. And if I want to plant my flag in the middle of your field, I'm your daddy for this time. If Georgia would have came out and planted a flag on the horns, I wouldn't even have said nothing because they owned us that day.
And here's what I think. So it's almost like, so I remember some years ago, right? I remember some years ago, one of the best games I had ever seen was when San Francisco played against the Cowboys, right? And I remember when Terrell Owens went and scored the touchdown, he went and stood on the star, right? And stood
Favorite
up in
Lakers.
there with the star. It
Favorite
was
thing
one
ever.
of the it was one of my favorite games of all time, right?
Because
And he
look,
and the reason for that because he ran all the way from the end zone, sprinted to the 50, and then said boom, right? So then he scores again and he runs back. And George T, who was on the field when he gave up the touchdown, goes and try to shove him off there like, nah, we ain't doing that, right? And T.O. still got on up and did it. But you had your opportunity, right? But here's what I think that was dope. Emmitt Smith goes and scores a touchdown because the game wasn't over. And he goes and gets his helmet. And this I used to love when the NFL used to allow you to take your helmets off after you score. So Emmett takes his helmet off and goes and stands on the star like what? And he's staring down their team. And it was phenomenal. But you had your opportunities to respond to that, right? And so I think that to me, when I look at that, that all happened in the confines of the game. But don't wait until after the fact when you know it's coming to be like, nah, I'm gonna knock down your flag. You gonna catch. No, you had your chance, clown.
and
Get out
this is the
my
crazy
face.
part. That wasn't the only game where a flag was destroyed. There was another game where some other team grabbed somebody's team flag and threw it like a javelin in the stands and stuff. So listen,
That would be kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie.
the flag planting to me is not that big a deal. How these commentators is talking about, I'm like, y'all weak, bro. Talking about it's not for the game of football. Stop, bro. Listen, you paying these kids to get out here and try to kill themselves, and you mad because they planting the flag at the end of the game, bro? Stop losing.
I love
It's
it.
a
I'm not gonna lie.
rivalry game, bro.
So what? I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I love it for rivalry games, and I love it for huge underdog. Like I remember when Appalachian State beat Michigan.
Yeah,
And it was like one of the biggest underdog stories. And those guys still meet. And that same team, a bunch of those guys meet every year on the anniversary of that particular update to just have beers on the base, you know. But they won, I believe that was at Michigan. Now, what made it even worse is because it was one of those pay to slay games. We pay you to come up here and get slayed. Well, that Michigan paid them to get upset, right? But if App State would have had a flag, bro, put that flag out there, bro. Like, nah. So I think on those huge upsets, like when Notre Dame earlier this year, they got upset by Northern Illinois. Like Northern Illinois should have the flag because the upset happened at Notre Dame, bro. Like, nah. I honestly believe, bro, if you're one of those underdog teams, you need to have a flag carrier that's always on call for if you they already know that if we win after on their turf, I'm bringing the flag out, bro, and that person should be protected like Megan Thee Stallion, bro.
yeah. I'm flag planting. I'm here for it, bro. I'm here for it.
I am. Now, I'm not gonna lie. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I would have been pissed off if Georgia would have. If Georgia would have planted the flag at Texas, I would have been mad at damn Quavo, bro.
Listen,
I would have been mad at Quavo.
I wouldn't have been mad because they came in our home and beat us. Listen, it
I
would have
know.
been listen, the reason why it's the setup for my next topic is Texas on their first year in the SEC is headed to the SEC championship against Georgia. And you trying to tell me that wouldn't be motivation to be like, nah, we going into Mercedes Benz and we gonna mollywop these fools.
They got AstroTurf out there too though, man. So they ain't got a chance to plant the flag. But bring the flag out, bring the biggest Texas flag in the history of the state out. They should bring out a flag that takes up 10 yards, bro. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I hope that I'm hoping, bro, that we run it up on them though, bro. I hope that we run it up. But listen, I'm gonna be honest with you though, man. Like I haven't been that impressed with UGA, but I especially haven't been impressed with UGA ever since they beat Texas. And all the real Dogs fans that I know I hear had said, no, we haven't looked good all year long, but that Texas game was the only game that we played both quarters that we played complete. And so they were like, yeah, we haven't been that team. And it just looked like that was a Super Bowl for them. Like they've been hungover on that win ever since because they went into 50 overtimes with Georgia Tech. And I'm just like, listen, you can't tell me that Georgia Tech is that good. Not that much, not as good as Georgia, the one 7,500 overtimes, bro.
Rivalry game, bro. Rivalry games,
I
them
get it.
records go out the window, bro. I mean, I'm just saying it's we know that we play OU all the time, and we haven't always been the best and still made the game competitive. So
yeah, I agree, but I just don't think that player wise. I think that traditionally, right, with OU and Texas, the margin between how good our players are to theirs and vice versa is very small. But I think that UGA and Georgia Tech, it's a big gap, bro.
I get it, but even still, though, right? You look at us playing A&M. We only put up 17 points. Now, granted, that's all we needed. But the point is that should have been we had 2 turnovers in the red zone. You know what I'm saying? There was some things that we could have did better. That should have been a bigger margin. But nobody's even talking. Nobody's even saying that because it's like it's a rivalry game.
I got a question for you, Bob. Mm-hmm. If yours struggles early again, do you go back to Arch Manning for the rest of the game?
It depends on how Arch looks. Because, I mean, here's the thing. What I love about Sark, he's very supportive of the players. And he does what it takes to get the job done. There's been play that we've had 2 receivers leave our program this year. And he was like, okay, we'll see you. So my thing is that as long as Quinn, like he even made Quinn, he said, listen, if you planning on playing against A&M, I need to see you at practice on Thursday. Like the full run. Other than that, he was going to go with Arch. So yeah, he's like, no, I believe in Quinn. Quinn has put in the work and is deserving of the opportunity to lead this team. So I'm going to ride with him. Like it's his team. But if he struggled, then yeah, I'm going to have to do what I got to do because it's still about the team winning. So it's just like when Blue didn't get many many runs during the A&M game. And plus he been fumbling. So he went with Wiseman.
My boy was doing his thing out there. Wiseman was killing it though, bro. He was like, that boy was going like almost 10 yards a carry. Like at that point, you can't justify not giving him the rock.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. It was for the betterment of the team. So I think Sark is going to make the best decision possible to win.
Yeah. All true. I am curious, man, because you would be getting off to them slow starts, though, man. And that bothers me, bro. That bothers me so much that he'll turn it up. But Arch always comes in, and Arch will get it going fast. And so I'm just like, I don't know. We'll see.
I know you more biased for Arch, but I mean, my thing is, I
love me some viewers though, bro. But I like Arch a lot though.
I like Arch too, but Arch, I like that Arch already knows that next year is my squad, right? To a fact, which was another report that came out because Ewers, he is a junior, right? But he did participate in the senior stuff this year because originally set forth before the season started, he was going to enter the draft, but he didn't have the best year. So he is planning to come back, but possibly not for Texas.
Yeah.
Because next year it is Arch's team, right? So it's like he will pull out Dylan Gabriel and go to another squad.
I wouldn't be even so this is my thing. I don't know the terms of Dylan Gabriel going, but I wouldn't be mad if Ewers went to another team. I think that it just depends. Like if he went
I can see him going back to Ohio State, bro.
Oh yeah, I can see him going back to Ohio State because their quarterback is on a 1-year lease. I can see him going to Oregon. I can see him going. Listen. I'm going to be honest. I don't want to see him. I don't want to play against him because I like him so much that I don't want to root against him.
I like Malik, but at the same time, if we play Duke, I still want to beat Duke.
Yeah, I want him to I still want to just root for him, and that's it. Like I don't want to root for him wearing an SEC jersey, right? I just don't. I'm not a UGA fan, so I don't want to say, oh, I'm just rooting for you to do well. Like,
Maybe
nah,
he'll go to
you
USC.
all the way out. Yeah, now that would be tough. If he went to USC or even like Notre Dame, I could see him thriving. I could really see him thriving at USC. But if he did that,
Or
then
shoot,
yeah,
what if he went to Miami?
yeah. I think he's bigger than Miami. Miami paying though. Miami got that bread. But USC got that long guap also. And I can see him playing out there at USC though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else we
I'd
got?
rather see him go to Boise State than go to Georgia though, bro. I ain't trying to see.
What else we got?
Yeah, I don't know. Listen, let me ask you this though. One thing that wasn't on the doc that I wanted to see your thoughts. The dude, Alazier, he wound up getting suspended 3 games for that hit on Trevor Lawrence. So, bro, you think that's warranted?
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't see the hit. I do understand that they were talking about he might have concussion, so he might be out
Yeah,
for the
concussion
remainder of the
protocol.
season. But I didn't know
Yeah,
why.
you
I
gotta lay it
just
out.
okay. Yeah,
Do
I
you
didn't.
remember? Do you remember when Sean Phillips laid that dude out in the laid that boy out Trick Green and it was like that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
Laid
if
him out.
they have to send a message because they already. It's here's the thing. For the last 3-4 years, they have put a precedence on trying to protect quarterbacks. You know that. So even if they are leaving the pocket and they become the runner, if it was again, I haven't seen the hit, so I can't comment on what the hit was, but just the way you're describing it, then yeah, they got to send a message like,
Listen,
hey,
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think that the hit was nowhere near as vicious as some of those two hits, and those was clean hits, right? I think that the only thing is this is the thing. This is my thought is this. When you become a runner, you become a runner. And it shouldn't matter that you're the quarterback. You should get the same treatment that a wide receiver, that a tight end, that a running back gets when you become a runner, right? And so my thing is that if he wasn't a quarterback, I don't think that he would have been suspended to that severity. I think that it may have been maybe a 1-game suspension that I think that he could have appealed. But my thing is this though, if you're a linebacker and you're saying, no, this is early in the game, so you still got something to win. What are you supposed to do? Just let them get the first? To me, every yard shouldn't matter. And so I think that my thing is that he didn't start. He could have gave himself up earlier, right? But it's like he tackled him in the process of him giving himself up, though, bro. And I don't think that dude it wasn't a dirty hit to me. It was very much he's going down, but he's almost picking up the first down. So it's like to make sure he's not putting the first down, I'm gonna lay the wood on him. Pause. No diddy. I'm gonna lay the wood on him though.
okay, I just watched the hit. Uh, it wasn't a dirty hit, but it was illegal. I don't think he intentionally was
Sure.
trying to hurt him like that, but he was already in the slide. He was already in the slide. So you that's a targeting. Like, yeah, you're ejected for that game, but I'm okay if the league is saying, because again, that's it, that particular play. Any runner giving it up like that, yes, he becomes a runner like everybody else, but he is the quarterback. He did tuck the ball, but he did go into a slide early enough to where he didn't. Because what I'm saying is this: if Trevor Lawrence was standing straight up, you would have basically been diving at his knees.
You would have been out for that too.
Exactly. So what I'm saying is either it might not have been dirty, but it was an illegal hit. And so the thing is that you did, like, because of the Tua stuff, they are going to be, especially when the man is giving up. Because what I'm saying is with other runners, right? You're not down until somebody touches you. But a quarterback, if you slide, you're down.
Let me ask you this though.
What's up?
This is my question. Because when RG3 was his issue was that he wouldn't slide, right? And so that's kind of how he tore up his knee because he wouldn't slide. But Tua got laid out sliding. Trent Gray laid out sliding. Trevor Lawrence laid out from sliding. At some point, I'm just thinking like maybe quarterbacks shouldn't slide. Maybe you should just fall down because you can't say you can go, you can run. Oh, get myself up because it's the difference of the 1 yard, 2 yards, and so it's like, yeah, I get that. I understand that those are the current rules, but I'm just saying though, this is my thing. If you don't want quarterbacks to get hit from sliding and those things happen, they should just fall down, bro. Like no sliding at all, though. I don't know how you can prevent someone who's going 100 miles as fast as they can to stop you from getting 1 yard to pull up on that, though, bro. And I understand that was an illegal hit, but in the speed of the game, you're talking about a second difference, though, bro. And it's just
Yeah,
it's
but
unfortunate. It's
well,
warranted. Don't get me wrong. I think he should be suspended on some level, but I don't think that it was. I don't think he was dirty, bro.
I don't think it was dirty, but it when I'm saying dirty as it, I don't think he was trying to give him the concussion, but he was trying to hit him. So,
Yeah.
and the thing is that again, you can't tell me that you didn't see that he was in a slide because you wouldn't have speared that low because then you're going after his knees. So what I'm saying is I don't care. You can't tell me in the speed of the game that he didn't make the conscious effort to go down towards that man's head. I just watched it.
I don't know. And let me ask you something, though, bro.
What up?
Did you see? Let's switch something because this is just something that has been almost pissing me off for a good bit of all of this year. So I would see Serena Williams, right? And I would see Serena Williams, and she was looking real white chicks like pale. And I'm thinking everybody was like, yo, is she like bleaching her skin? Because it sure the hell looks like she is all around light skin, right? Extra light skin. And then I might see her the very next month and she's back brown. And then I might see her where she's light. And it's just been weird. I might see her, man, where my girl wigs look like she got them sitting sideways like it's a damn fitted hat, bro. And I saw Serena finally come out and says, "Oh, not my skin. I'm brown, bro. I'm brown. It's just that's the light, bro. It's lighting though, man." And listen, while she's saying this, sure enough, though, man, I'm looking at the comments and people is roasting, talking about, yeah, she's just purposely looking like that, bro. That you can't look at her wig while she's putting this makeup on. The wig is just sitting like CC Sabathia about to pitch, slight tilt to it. Wig part ain't lined on the eyebrows is just looking crazy, and she is out here doing her makeup. It look lighter though, bro. But I don't know. I'm somewhat like at one time I think she had to heard it because she went and looked like she hired a whole new glam team. They got her straight. She came, she was like, "Oh, Serena, she back." That's how I remember her looking. And then she goes back to this powdery looking, and it looks like she's purposely looking like Serena's playing in my face, and I'm mad at it, bro. I'm genuinely mad at it right now, bro.
She's not one of my chicks, meaning that like one of the ones I be checking for like that. So
Yeah,
it doesn't
yeah.
bother me as bad, but I see what you're talking about and I understand. So yeah, it's not phasing me like that, but I know
It
why
bothers
it's
the hell out of
bothering
me,
you.
bro.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it pisses me off so bad. I'm talking about, I remember, man, golly, 10 years ago. Like she was one of them ones for me though, bro. And I was like, oh my gosh, though, man. And I'm just saying, like, I think that, bro, Joe Vontae Biden needs to call for an investigation for this fall off because I haven't seen anybody fall off this fast in a long time, bro. A long time.
Well, maybe he just need to pardon her makeup team.
Something. But on top of that, right? Someone who is also one of them ones, Cardi B, they are officially divorced, and she basically has been kind of out and about on the scene, right? And she was like, no, she went on out, had that one big re-release thing, right, where she's been out there in the streets, like, yo. But I think one thing that's been kind of funny about that because everybody's naturally like, yo, how you out here? Where your kids at? You know what I'm saying? That's always I always see the level that she was out there partying big. And I think she went out there and was talking about, her expenses and all of these things, oh man. But my question for you though, bro, again, we gotta revisit it. Now that she's official, we gonna see her on the arms of somebody
Not for a minute.
soon?
Nah, not
Okay.
not soon. It's gonna be a minute. Now she still gonna get her get down, but it just ain't gonna be public. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
She's still gonna, Cardi likes to do what Cardi likes to do, but it ain't gonna be public. And then, but she will have another public relationship. I mean, her whole life is pretty public, so it's not like she's gonna, keep that secret. And hey, it's all nothing but respect for her to do it because she's single. She's single. She's still fine. So yeah, ain't nothing wrong with it.
Now, I went on record and I said that Offset could take it to the highest heights seen from somebody who's a new bachelor. And he hasn't yet. I'm kind of surprised he's been more low key than what I thought he would have been. But at the same time, we are rooting for Cardi though, right? We rooting to see how she's gonna level up though.
Oh yeah, absolutely, I am.
I just haven't seen her. I knew that she's kind of taking her time as well because I haven't seen the thirst trap pictures yet. She haven't went
Oh,
la la yet.
she hasn't, but she is bouncing back from the baby though.
Yeah.
Because I'm on her Instagram group, so she posts a lot in there, like just natural videos. Like won't even be in makeup. She'll just be chilling. So yeah,
I'm not on her Instagram group.
I
What's
definitely
that?
am.
What's that his for?
It's
What's
dope.
it
She'll
on?
tell us about new music. She'll, say, hey, you guys are gonna see this pretty soon. So, tell me what you think. She's asked questions about what should I name songs, like real interactive. And she posts a lot of videos in there. It's pretty dope. It's pretty live.
Yeah, like I'll see some things to her. Like I've seen some pictures that are like that almost look like they are uh like they could be like pictures that could be in the editorials, right?
Yeah.
But I haven't seen the real thirst traps like I thought that she would have, and that tells me also maybe she's still bouncing back from the kid and trying to get that on out there, though, bro.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. And did you also see like this is a weird thing too? Did you see sometime like right before Thanksgiving though the boy Khalid or Khalid basically had some dude he was apparently talking to. A lot of times you keep things private, you know what I'm saying, your personal life and everything like that. And apparently he was dating some dude or kicking it with some dude, and this dude they broke up and everything like that. And this dude basically just outed the boy, and he was just like, "Well, all right, I guess
You
you go
know,
out there like that's it, though, man."
that's so my thing is that, and I've said this several times throughout our podcast journey, that stuff doesn't bother me. And it's 2024. Like it's old. Like for one, I don't even know if anybody was checking for him like that to know his sexuality, right?
Right.
I saw people in the comments like, "Oh, so all this time you've been," and it's like, no, it was nobody's business. I'm an entertainer. I sing music. Like it doesn't matter. But I love how he handled it because it's like, okay, the dude outed me, so now y'all know. Okay, cool. Like move on. And that's
Hey, listen, you've always taken that stance, right? And
yeah,
I'm gonna be honest with you. Not that I ever was opposed to that stance, but understood and agreed with it so much more with this because
yeah,
I guess it's one of the things where it wasn't like, like sometimes you might feel like, not that there was a level of deceit, like people were in the comments almost like, oh, you've been deceiving us this whole time, blah, blah, blah. I think that when it came down to it with him, sexuality never crossed my mind when it came to him. So it's like, if he came out and he said, yeah, it didn't be like, oh, it changed my perspective of you. like for some reason, I'm not gonna say before, for some reason, it's just like I don't know that I was ever like I knew that when his songs are popping, he has great music when he's actually out there. That the Location is still one of my favorite songs to bump. But I guess I never looked at Location was thinking like he
Is he
ain't
talking about right? Yeah, like it
is he
just.
talking about a dude?
But
He
what I'm saying,
so irrelevant.
even when I saw it, I was just like, okay, like
Yeah.
it wasn't like earth shattering news to me, you know, because it was just like,
Now
I mean,
listen. Now listen. With
yeah,
that being said, it helped that be an easier thing because he's R&B. If he rap, we'd be having a different story, different conversation.
I mean, I guess only because we've only really seen a bunch of R&B dudes like
Mm-hmm.
have this formal thing. August Alsina, Sam
Yeah.
Smith, I mean,
Tank,
shoot, huh?
Tank.
Nah. I mean, even in the beginning, I don't even think we knew what Frank Ocean was doing, right? And then that happened.
He's married to a chick now, though. So I was just like,
He was bi, but that's what I'm saying. So it's like it's not. I don't know. I mean, I guess I can.
okay, but listen, even then, after that happened, right? After Frank Ocean put out Blonde, he had never been any more popular than after that, though, bro. So it still goes to show that at the end of the day, the talent will basically, will supersede everything else, though, bro. Like, yeah. So that is interesting, man.
Yeah.
But then didn't think anything of it at all. I was just like, yo, I thought it was a pretty shady way for somebody to put your business out there and make it seem like it was kind of accidental or I just it's like, nah, don't be so matter of fact about that.
Nah,
Because
you
you had to
intentionally
act. Yeah, you was intentional because you knew if you was a partner of this dude of any kind of way, you knew that he didn't put that out there to people yet, though, right? So for you to be the one, like, nah, you're a
didn't.
clown if anything for that, though,
But you
bro.
know what though? It could. I mean, and I don't know the law to it, but it could almost be looked at like revenge porn.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah, I didn't think about that though, man. I don't know, bro. It was weak to me though, bro. I'm like, nah, you lame for that though, man. Like I said, I'm all for somebody feeling like, hey, it's we going into 2025. Certain things shouldn't be taboo, but at the same time, I think that for you making that announcement, if you want to announce something like that, that's fine. You should be allowed to do that on your own terms and not feel like somebody coerced you into doing it. At the same time, I think that, if you still feel like there's a level of discomfort for whatever reason, you should have your own reasons to be able to say, no, this is the reason why I keep these particular things private. But for somebody to feel like they took that out of your hands, I don't see the fairness in that, though, man. And if I'm him, I'm running that fade when I see him, though, bro.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, too, that's still your business.
Still
When
your
you sign
business.
up to be an artist, it doesn't mean I have to share everything with you. That's it. It's whatever I choose to share.
Yeah.
Anywho, bro, we didn't held the people long, so let's jump on off of here. We appreciate all y'all for watching from ATL to OKC. We are the Slash Brothers, and thank y'all for joining. We out.
Peace.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast.
Can you dig
of
it,
all time.
sucker?
Yep.